Okay, my name is Kayla Mejia. I am 23 years old, and I am a graduate student at the College of Communications. I'm getting my Master's of Fine Arts in Film and TV Studies.
I'm Brenna. I found myself up here in Boston to do a program at Tufts for my Master's in Child Study and Human Development.
There's a lot of photos of Brenna as a kid, and you're like, oh, that's a lesbian. Like, that's being a lesbian. And then there's photos of me, and you're like, what?
The things that kind of helped me was the fact that not only were my parents extremely progressive in that way, my mom had never, like every June after I turned like 15, she was like, Brenna, is there something you need to tell me? Like, it's okay, like, is there something you need to tell me though? And every time I'd be like, I don't know, like, you're gonna I'll figure it out, and then you'll figure it out when I figure it out. She doesn't hesitate when a change needs to happen as much as I do. I'll go out and put a sticker on my car, and I'll be like, trying to figure out where it should go, and my mom's like, just put it somewhere, it doesn't matter if it's crooked. Like, you know, if you hate where it is, okay, it doesn't matter, you'll get used to it.
Even though I am, like, the partner that I have now, I was still in a relationship with her. I was very much a baby gay when it came to, like, the community as a whole. Like, I feel like I really explored what my sexuality and what being gay meant in college, just because I was finding out so late in high school.
Like, long story short, how we met was through our mutual friend, Mel,
who I was taking an Italian class with, but also I was her RA in the building, so a lot of different layers there, positionality. She had introduced me to Brenna, and I just kind of like met her like, oh, like, it was also like that time we're coming out of COVID, like it was more endemic than a pandemic, that we were all still wearing masks, and I really didn't know what Brenna's face looked like until maybe like 2 months into knowing her. But like when I met her, it was just very much like a friend vibe, very platonic. Like I recognized her from like, she was also an RA, so I recognized her from training, but I never had a conversation with her until Mel introduced us. And I don't know, I always had crushes on like different people at that time. Like I had crushes on people who looked very masculine. Stop, you know.
We like met in November, so I guess it was like pretty much like a month, I guess, of just like us like building a friendship. Yeah. And that foundation was built on Brenna like making fun of me constantly. And
it's like the playground, you know, it's like playground, like, I don't know, it's just, it was like juvenile.
Yeah,
almost.
So she would make fun of me, and I think I like the fact that she challenged me from the get-go as a friend.
We'd always like want like different coffee, and we're like, okay, I bet I can make this in, like, it was like a trash can type thing, and we're like, okay, let's throw the marker, and I'm like, okay, I bet I make this in, you owe me coffee type of thing.
I don't know, I think I realized really late that I had feelings for her. Like it took like a drunken night to be like, oh my god, like this, I want to spend more time with this person in a way that's not platonic. So
oh, I was so embarrassed the next day. Like literally the next day, like all my friends were making fun of me. They're like, oh, you had a good night. And that was close to like when I had to leave for winter break, and I have my family in Florida, Brenna just stays in Pennsylvania. And lo and behold, I thought I wasn't going to hear from this person until I come back for the spring semester. But we would just start texting like a lot, and we had FaceTime, and we'd FaceTime until like 3 a.m. like for the most of that break. So in my head, I thought, oh my god, like we were talking. Like this is what talking is. Like you go from like 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. You like each other. You're talking. So I was fully like, oh my god, this girl likes me. I like her. I think something's happening here. And we would go on like dates, but they weren't labeled as dates. We would just like hang out, get lunch. She took me like around to different like cool spots. She's like, oh yeah, I like to go here when I think, and it was like a little riverbank, and I was like, this is so romantic. Like the vibes are here. Why is she not kissing me now? Like that's all I was thinking. Like I don't know like what's happening. And like it was basically all dates, but we never labeled it that.
She was getting really frustrated when I didn't notice.
Because you didn't say
and I
anything.
knew. No, and I just was like, well, I know that if she likes me, I want her to.
But you knew
I want her to tell me that, you know.
But you knew I liked you.
Yeah, I just wanted the words to come out of your mouth.
There's all this mixed messaging. There's just a lot of mixed messaging going on with her. It was just like that gray area where you don't know if you're a friend, but you're more than a friend, but you're not. It's very much a situationship at that point.
Both of us, we like love really hard, and I think one of the things that was kind of at least hard for me to come to terms with was the idea that like I had some sort of power over her if I were to be put in that, I guess, dynamic or like that sort of relationship.
She already did though.
No,
because
but
all my friends did not like Brenna.
No, but it was, from my perspective, I was trying to like save us like any heartbreak.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I wanted her in my life in some way. Because I think for me, like, putting the idea of, like, friends with benefits on the table was, like, me saying that, like, I was attracted to her. And so, like, she knew that. Kayla and I both have, like, a very different way of approaching life. Like, I feel like she's very type A in the best way possible. And I think we complement each other because I'm very much not that way. Being with Kayla, like, there's a lot of ways that I think I need to be more type A, and she brings that out in me. Google Calendar is like her best friend besides me. Yeah, but it really just came down to us having a lot of conversations.
But it did come to like one night where I stayed up late, we were talking for a long time, and we're like, okay, let's try this. And then it was another month of just like hanging out in that way.
Because we had another sort of relationship already there, like already established, it was like navigating that and moving, like being able to progress from that and understand like what our relationship would look like. Yeah, I don't know. It's been very intentional, like the way that I think we've gone about like navigating our lives here. It's been fun, and obviously we found like our groups, and we found a lot of other like queer people who are super cool and are wanting to kind of either find people or, you know, who we can just kind of relate to or identify with, who we've grown really close to. So we prioritize each other. We are each other's support system too. So we have a lot of those check-ins, I think, to just maintain where we are. So you're cute.